Now we have the word mithaq, which is actually small, as you can see, because it is part of ahd. I.e., mithaq is ahd plus something, and you will see that in the meanings. Ahd is mithaq is the credit or the trust. Is the credit and the trust. That's why when you have, for example, credit with someone, that's called what? Wathiqa. Or when you write your marriage contract, that's what? Wathiqat al-zawaj. It's also called aqd al-zawaj, in the sense that by looking at the parties it's called aqd, but also by the fact that it is muwathaq. It is written, it's tawthiq, it is documented. And they say when we have a piece of land, they say when there is a piece of land that is always full of grass, it means you can graze at it at any time, isn't it? It's available at any time, but it has grass at certain times and not at other times. You cannot trust it. So the land that is full of grass all the time, they call it al-ard al-wathiqa. It's the land that I can always come to it because it's full of what? It's full of food for the camels and the sheep. The word mithaq as well means perfected and secured. That's why that we have, for example, one of the contracts in Sharia, category of contracts is called uqud at-tawthiqat, the contracts of security contracts, like what? Like collaterals. For example, you would like to borrow some money, isn't it? So you go to someone and say, I would like to borrow some money from you, £1,000. And he says, give me something as a security, isn't it? Give me a collateral, give me something as a security. So you give them a watch, an expensive watch, and they keep the watch until you pay them back, right? They keep it in trust. So this is tawthiq. This contract is called aqd al-rahn, putting up a collateral. And this is from the categories of uqud al-tawthiqat, because what happens is the person has a tawathuq. He wants to build trust in you, isn't it? He wants to build trust in you. How do they build trust in you? By securing their money, by having that item. And also the word wathiqa and mithaq means charter and a covenant and a pledge, something that has brought people together, and they were putting their commitment and their word. And that's why Sayyidina Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu anhu, talking about the Bay'at al-Aqaba, he said, I witnessed with the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam the night of Aqaba, when we agreed on Islam. He said, حيث حين تواثقنا على الإسلام. تواثقنا, like when we have given our mithaq. And also the word mithaq means documented pledge. And we mentioned before that it means chain or a rein because of that security and that perfection. Now, what's the difference between al-ahd wal-mithaq? And at the same time, what's the difference between al-ahd and al-aqd? We touched upon some of that before, but this is a reminder. Al-mithaq, ya ikhwani al-kiram, al-mithaq is a confirmation of the ahd. So al-ahd is a commitment. Al-mithaq is taking that to the next level, which is tawkiduhu. Tawkiduhu, it's as if you're tying it. Imam al-Qurtubi said, al-mithaq is an ahd that has been confirmed by an oath. It's an ahd that has been confirmed by an oath. And by now, we will not use the word covenant as much. We will use the word ahd and mithaq. Because now you know that what is ahd and what is mithaq, right? So we'll use these words because these are the words that are used in the Quran. Al-ahd is more general then. It's more encompassing. It's basically the base layer. And then any layer on top of that is something else. So it's more encompassing than mithaq. So whether there is a contract or there is no contract, or there is a writing or there is no writing, whether there is collateral, you would call it ahd, right? Al-ahd is a commitment, whether accompanied by an oath or not. Whether you make an oath or not, it's still called ahd. Al-ahd is normally from both parties. So al-ahd, when there is ahd, it's normally from both parties. Ta'ahadtu, like ana u'ahiduka, like I have an ahd with you. But it can be from one person as well. It can be from one person, right? But al-mithaq is from one side only. So for example, when you give me ahd, when you give me your ahd, I give you my ahd as well, isn't it? We spoke before that when the people of the book have their ahd with the rest of the citizens in the Muslim land, it means that they will be protected by the government. That's the commitment of the government, and their own commitment is that they respect the law. When you have ahd with me, it means I fulfill and you fulfill. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Banu Israel in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَأَوْفُوا بِعَهْدِي أُوفِ بِعَهْدِكُمْ. Fulfill my covenant, I fulfill your covenant. Fulfill my covenant by obeying me, by believing in my messengers, by abiding by my commands. أُوفِ بِعَهْدِكُمْ. I will fulfill my commitment by continuing to bless you, to give you blessings, and to reward you in akhirah. So ahd has these two parties involved. Mithaq, one is given his commitment, and the other is taken that commitment. He's not given anything. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ مِيثَاقَ النَّبِيِّينَ. When Allah took the mithaq of the prophets. Who is given the mithaq? The prophets. And who is taking that and documenting it? Allah. What was the content of that mithaq? That they believe in the Prophet when he comes. That all the prophets before our Prophet ﷺ, they believe in him. Also in marriage, who has the commitment, the main commitment? The husband, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذْ وَكَيْفَ تَأْخُذُونَهُ وَقَدْ أَفْضَى بَعْضُكُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ وَأَخَذْنَا مِنْكُمْ مِيثَاقًا غَلِيظًا. The mother, the woman in marriage gives herself into the marriage in when she takes the mithaq, the commitment of her husband, that he will treat her well, that he will take care of her, that he will spend on her, that he will do this. So the ahd is from both parties, mithaq is from one side. What's the difference between ahd and aqd? So we have ahd and mithaq on this side, ahd and aqd on that side. Aqd is a documentation or tying of an ahd. So mithaq might not be in writing, but aqd has to be in writing, has to be in writing. And even if it's not writing in read writing, it has to be witnessed. It has to be what? Witnessed. That's why we call the aqd of marriage, aqd nikah. Why? You say, I did my aqd. Why? Because you have two witnesses that are present. There are two witnesses sitting there, right? So al-aqd is a documentation. Al-ahd is a commitment of one part to another who may not be able to reciprocate al-ahd. But al-aqd, two parties reciprocating it. So for example, you will not say ahdul bay', ahd of sale. You will say aqdul bay'. Why? Because in sale, you pay the price, you get something in return. Isn't it? You pay, you get something in return. So you're expecting a reciprocation. But then in the ahd, you may say, I commit to Allah that I will not lie. What do you expect in return? You shouldn't expect anything.